Hey guys, it's Michael again. um, I've got some paintings that I haven't finished yet, and I thought before we started a new one, we would finish up what we got going now. So this is a brook trout that I've been working on, and we're gonna work on it. So we're gonna start up here around the top, and we're gonna pick some dark greens. I like metallic paints, if you can't tell. I like the shiny glossy ones. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm using, you can see this is a photograph of someone's catch. Beautiful fish. So we're gonna add a little bit of this mermaid tail is the color. So I like just put a little bit out in one of these small trays. I hate to waste paint, so I just squeeze out a little bit at a time. So anyway, purpose of this channel really is not just to paint, but as we talked about, is to talk about what I perceive as a shift in consciousness that is going on. And to start the discussion, I'm going to talk about the things that led me down this path, that started me down this path, the thoughts, the realizations, I guess, that got me started down this path. The first one, and I don't know, this is not like in chronological order, it didn't necessarily happen exactly in this order. So, but the first thing I'll talk about is when I learned that 99% of the structure of an atom is empty space. It's empty space. Everything you're looking at, everything we see, everything we interact with is 99, like 0.9% empty space. There's nothing there. Why can't I put my hand through it? Why don't I just fall through the earth? Why does anything have any mass at all? That got me thinking. No, is this real? Is any of this real? So I started down that road thinking about that. And then I learned about something called the double slit experiment, which was where a group of scientists shot beams of light, basically photons of light. They had obviously some very sophisticated equipment that could detect individual photons of light, and they shot those photons through a slit, basically, in a piece of paper or whatever. So only the light, there was only a small amount of light, the photons of light, getting through that slit. And they had detectors on the back side of it. And they were trying to figure out whether light was a wave or a particle. What they found out was incredible. And what they discovered through this experiment was it depends. It depends on whether somebody's looking at it or not. You get a different result based on whether there's an observer present. First of all, how how does the experiment know whether an observer is present? You know, that's nuts. And then how does it change between a particle and a wave? Clearly, there's an intelligence to the universe. It knows whether we're looking at it. So, between that and knowing that 99% of what we interact with in our world, in our physical reality, is not there. It's empty space. That really got me wondering what was going on. Clearly, it is not as we perceive it. And that, of course, leads to the idea of perception in general. If you think about perception, we have a very limited window on reality. We can see visible light. We can only hear, certain frequencies. We do not, by any stretch of the imagination, see everything that's going on around us. My dogs, they have a different perspective on the world. They can see heat, and their nose is so strong. It's almost, I think, like a sight for them. They use it like we do sight. It's that strong. So perception is everything. It is our reality. And learning that we are so limited in our perception, that's pretty profound. And it makes me question. It made me question everything. The next big idea that some of you may not like, but it's I grew up in the church. If the doors were open, we were there. Sunday school was my school, regular school, and Sunday school were my social activities. That was my world as a child. I've read the Bible cover to cover more than once. I'm familiar with it. But I got to thinking about the idea, the exclusivity of Christianity, the idea that Jesus is the only way into heaven. Well, what percentage of the people on this planet currently and historically, from whatever point, accountability starts, which who knows what point in history was that. But at some point, I guess presumably, people became accountable for whether or not they accepted Jesus. Well, to this day, that is a minority of the human population. So, what happens to all of those souls? The vast majority of human souls that do not accept Jesus in their lifetime. Well, the church told me that they go to hell forever. Forever. I don't think anybody in that church ever really thought about what that meant. But forever is a long time. When you get to year 700 trillion, you're just getting started. So, because you grew up in a place where Christianity was not the main religion, and you saw it as, a foreign religion and something you didn't understand, the way Americans see a lot of Americans see other religions here. It's just what we grew up with was Christianity, so that's what most of us are. But if you think about it, the God under that version set up a system with full knowledge of what he was doing. He set up a system where, let's be generous and say only 70% of the souls he created would create, has ever created, are now burning for eternity in hell because they didn't believe in Christianity. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's ridiculous. And if it is true, then, I'm not getting behind that kind of God. That's cruel. So, but, a lot of people don't think about a whole lot, but they certainly don't take, those religious tenets to the extremes and say, what does that really mean? So, anyway, that thought process defeated my, my love of religion. I do love God, and I have a very close relationship with God. I am a piece of God, like everyone watching this video. We are all aspects of the source, divided into individual souls, given the illusion of separation and allowed to experience a physical reality for the sake of experiencing it, to know what it is to be us individually. That's why we're here, just to be ourselves, just to experience life and the beauty of this creation. It's a really awesome gift that we've been given. I intend to try to make the best of it. I try to choose happiness whenever I can. Always, actually. Because why do anything else? Everything everybody does, every action they take, it's all to be happy. That's why you do what you do, right? That's why you buy the car you buy. That's why you buy the house you buy. That's why you marry the person you marry. That's why you get the job you get. That's why because it'll make you happy, or it'll lead to something that you think will make you happy. Put money in your bank account, or do whatever it is that you think will make you happy. Well, I decided to short circuit all that and just be happy. I don't need external validations or circumstances. Now I could get stressed out or anything like the next person, but in general, I just choose to be happy. And since I've made that choice, a conscious choice to be happy, my life has improved dramatically. So, and not necessarily like I got more money or I got this or that or I got more stuff, but just my life, my day to day, whatever it is, no matter what I have or don't have, um, I always have what I need. I know that. Um, and I trust that I will continue to have what I need when I need it so that I can be the best me, the most me that I can be. How do I do that? There's a guy, Daryl Anka, that channels an entity called Bashar, and he has a formula, or he gave a formula. I encourage you to watch a Bashar video, listen to his formula, but I'll put a link below to a Bashar video. But the main takeaway I have is to follow your excitement. Excitement, emotion is the universe's way of talking to you, of telling you, this is the right path or it's not the right path. So follow your excitement and do what truly excites you the most. And, from moment to moment, follow your excitement. And when I do that, or as I'm doing that, I discovered I could paint. I don't know. Things are just, they feel like they're opening up, and life is getting so much less stressful and more enjoyable. And I would encourage anyone out there to follow your excitement. Okay, so back to this painting for a minute. We've added some darker greens, which will continue there just a little bit. The gill plate's going to get some pinks and blues and purples as well. The eye will get some blue around there. Let's tell you what, let's clean this brush. And let's do a little blue around that eye. That'll be something dramatic, kind of, so it'll be good. I'll just say that, I think. Look nice. So I like to clean my brushes right away, because if you let the paint sit up on them, they get trashed. It's terrible. And the brushes they're not super expensive, but they're not really cheap either. These here, are probably $10 a piece. And I really like these brushes. So we take care of them, and we don't let them get messed up. Get the paint off of them as soon as we can while it's wet. Of course, we keep some water nearby and some paper towels and some brush cleaner. If you don't have brush cleaner, just soap works fine. Dove soap, that's, pretty light stuff, I think. And I actually occasionally will put beard oil on my brushes if the hairs start getting frayed, or like that. I will put some beard oil on them, and it smooths them out. It works great. I use just like the unscented stuff. So anyway, all right, let's do some work around the eyes, and then we're going to call it quits on this video. We'll come back and do some more later, but that's a whole lot of talking for now. Anyway, if this has interested you at all, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is a number 6 filbert brush. I love the filbert brushes. They have these rounded tips like that. Anyway, so, you know, if you're digging it at all, then hit the like and subscribe button. It would be very helpful. And we'll have more videos like this. So, this is only the second one I've made, so I don't think anybody's seen any of them yet. But I'm going to keep making them, keep putting them out there, and we'll, you know, I feel good about it. Feel good about it. You know, if one person listens to it and says, wow, that's helpful to me, then that's awesome. So, all right, so we're putting a little blue in there. It's not really quite as dark as I had wanted, but that's okay. We'll go back and add more later. Around these gill plates, we're going to have some blue too. Let's do some of that action there. Channel the old Bob Ross. Just, you know, the difference I think a lot of times in what people look at and say, oh, that's cool, or that's, you know, good art or whatever, it's just kind of the confidence of the brush stroke. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just, you know, just don't worry about it. You can paint over it if you make a mistake. So, you know, I think your brush strokes should be confident, like you intended to put that there, sort of thing. So anyway, all right. Okay, here's the blue too. See, that'll probably get painted over, but that's okay. That's okay. Not all of it will, I think, because I need some blue shadowing there. Okay. Now, we're at a point where we really need to let that dry, or else we're going to start making a mess. Oh, you know what we can do? We can do a little work around this fin, and then we will call it quits for now. Okay, so once again, we're going to clean the brush quickly, because these also are good brushes, and we don't want to let them get jacked up, because we don't have to buy more if we don't have to buy more. Right, all right, here we go. Now these fins have like a really white edge with some black behind that. So let's edge this sucker out with a matte a satin, just white. We'll come back over the top of it, I'm sure, with some glitter, but let's just put some white in here. This also down here, I may get some white if that blue dries up. I didn't put it on thick, and this acrylic dries really fast. That's another thing I love about acrylic paint. All right, we're going to use the same brush, and we're going to make it. So, thick there. Okay, a little white down there. Right around the edge of that. And there we go. All right. Okay. Now, look at all that white paint I got out. I didn't need all that. So, oh, there it is. I'll have to put some of that back. Well, I don't know. Let's leave it out for now because this is drying up pretty quick and I might be able to get in there. Probably will. Okay, let's see. Now, that also gets black, but I gotta let that dry up. Let's see. Let's put some white in the jaw. Let's get another picture of a brook trout. All right, let's see. Right there. Again, most of that's going to be painted over at the end, but for now, we need some white. Now, what I don't do, it's starting to look a little wonky. But hey, like I said, we'll just paint right over it. And what I don't do is get worried when the painting starts to go, one direction or the other, because it'll come back around. We'll get it there. Don't you worry, we'll get it there. Right where we want it. And a little highlights here, detail. Okay. We'll just kind of outline that a little better. Okay, you know what? We're going to call it quits for now. We're going on almost 30 minutes. So, again, like and subscribe, share the video, and we'll see you on the next one.